Alright, so this is video 2 of 2. I started the base. Once again, this video is showing you how to go and relay out a point you shot previously. So I did a survey today, and let's just say that today is tomorrow, and I have to go and lay out a point that either one forgot. Well, actually not one that forgot. One that I need to know where it was yesterday. Once again, that shot could be a land leveling shot that I shot yesterday, and the contractor came back and he cut it, and now I have to go and see where he's at relative to grade. So this is today's survey, and then if I come out tomorrow and the contractor goes to this point and he cuts it down, well, I want to go and see how much he cut it down to and locate exactly where that point is. So what you're gonna have to do is make sure you, and like I said in the video before, write down the northern, easting, and elevation of the points you need. You need the benchmark because that's what you're going to be calibrating your survey to, and then you need the point you're going to be of interest, point 1015. If you have multiple points, I'll create a video on how to do that mass upload instead of having to enter them manually like you're going to do now. So what you're going to do is, after you got your base set up and all, you're going to go into key in, and you're going to go to points, and then the point that I'm going to be entering is the first one is 1001, and it's going to be called BM, and this is what's called a grid coordinate. So just to remember it, just name it BM grid, and then enter your northing. So the northings on this one is 135.2332.128. The easting is 149.7306.666. The elevation is 4835.728. So that's my benchmark that I shot yesterday. Those are the grid coordinates. And I'm going to click enter, store, and then the other point I'm going to enter is the one I want to find from yesterday. It's 1015, so I'll name it 1015. And then I'm going to name this field shot, because it was a field shot grid. The northing. I'm going to pause the video and enter this because this is boring. Alright, so I entered my second point. Northing, easting, elevation. I'm going to enter store. And now what we're going to do is we're going to shoot. I'm going to exit out. I'm going to go into measure, and I'm just going to take a shot like I normally do. And today's a new day, so I'm going to name it, I'll just give it different, you can name it whatever you want, but I'm going to name it 2000. I'm going to name this one BM WGS. You can name it the BM real, whatever you want. I call it WGS. That stands for something grid system, world grid system, I think. That's what I've always named my real shot. So, and then we're going to click enter and then measure. So I'm just going to hover over that point, that X that I shot yesterday. I'm going to shoot it today, and it's going to be called BM real, and I'm going to click measure. Okay, so I entered the point, I measured the point like you normally do with the Trimble. Just hover over and click enter or measure, and it'll measure. And now I'm going to exit out, escape. And now I want to stake out, so you're going to click stake out, and then go to points, And then there's no, actually before you do that, I'm sorry, you got to go to measure. You're going to go to site calibration. There's no points here right now. You're going to go to add. It's right here. See if you can see that. It's hard to video when you're not, don't have someone to help you. Add. And once again, the grid point, I entered that physically. So we're going to go to the list of points I entered. And I want to enter this one, because I'm going to calibrate my survey from today to yesterday's survey. And then the GNSS point is the point that I just shot, the benchmark reel. So this calls it GNSS point. Global, I forgot what GNSS stands for. And then we're going to go to list as well. And there should be only one point that's real. The difference between a grid point and a real point is the dot. So there's a black dot, that means grid point. This is actual shot I took today, has an X, and I want that to be my GNSS point. So next thing you're going to do after that is click accept and apply. And so what that did was, in a nutshell, it tells the survey from today how I am relative to yesterday, if that makes sense. And you'll see now that because I'm going to locate the point that we want of interest. So you're going to go to, now you're going to go to stakeout, and you're going to go to points, and you're going to go to add. You're going to select from list. And then, like I said, all the points that I took today that were grid points are here. So I want to stake out this point here. So you click it, and then you click add, and then you stake out. And then this always comes up. Just disable it. If you want your R10 to be the most accurate, it's telling us that we need to calibrate the internal compass of the data collector, but I don't do that. Disable. So it's telling me that I have to go west 388 feet and south 45 feet, and that sounds about right. Because where I'm standing here, the point that I'm going to be shooting is actually, you'll see a fence line. I'm going to be shooting not this corner where my finger's at, but the other corner. And so right now I just have to walk with the rover, and once I get to that point it'll tell me where I am. So I'm going to pause the video and then I'll restart it at that point. So I'm not at the point yet, but I was standing right there by that tree, and now I'm headed towards the point, and it tells me that I need to go south 27 feet and west 168 feet. And that's right, because my point is not at this corner post, but the corner post right there approximately. Okay, so I'm pretty close to the point right now. It says I have to go east 3.16 feet 7 and north 5 feet. And you can see, not very well in the video, but you can see a point there. It's like looks like a target. And you can see the crosshairs. So I have to get those crosshairs onto that point, and I'll be exactly where I was yesterday. So you just keep on working. So I'm going to go, like it says, to go north 3 feet. So I'll go about north 3 feet. And now I gotta go north 2.87 feet. And so now we're go south. I went too far. So you play with this until you get it, but I'll do this on the video so you can see. So we got to go south 0.0, and then once again, to be exactly on, get your plumb bob level. And we're at 0.055. I got to go east half a foot. So let's go half a foot, get it level. And now we're pretty close to it, south 0.1. North 0.2. Alright, so this is for this video. I'm going to stay. So you can see the crosshair is pretty much right in the middle of the target. And I'm pretty dang close. 0.02. I would call this good. When I get within the hundreds, I'm good. And you can see that I have to cut 0 because I shot this yesterday and nothing's been done today. So it's the same elevation as it was yesterday. But I had the contractor came and cut this a foot, and I knew this point needed to be 2 feet. I could tell him that he needs to cut. First they would tell me that I need to go, it would say that there would be a, what would it be? It would say actually fill. If he cut the shot 1 foot yesterday, and I came out today and I occupied it, it would say here fill 1 foot because it remembers that I was 1 foot higher yesterday. Hopefully that makes sense. But what you could do when we're entering the points, like I was showing you earlier, if you already know the final grade elevation of this point, you could just enter the elevation of the final grade instead of entering what it was the day you shot it. And so you can do this. This was for 1 point. If I wanted to lay out all the points, there's an easier way to do it instead of having to manually do it by hand, because that takes a while. I'll create another video on that, but at least this gives you the basics. If you have any questions, give me a call.